All right, guys. So we're going to be working on a couple of Sub-Zero refrigerator drawers, and the issue really with two of these drawers, I did both of them the same day, and the main issue you will see shortly: low refrigerant. And the reason why you'll have low refrigerant is a couple of reasons. Could be a leak in the system, or somebody took the refrigerant out. And so whenever you have a leak, there's a reason why you have a leak. Refrigerant doesn't normally just leave the system. So the temperature, as you can see, was around 45. Definitely not where it needs to be. And so right now what we're doing is adding some refrigerant. Normally, if the system was totally empty, the procedure would be different. You would pull a vacuum on the system, or we could probably do a nitrogen and we would check for leaks. But since the system had refrigerant, I went ahead and add some refrigerant to the system, and then I eventually, towards the end, I checked for leaks because the pressure was so low, I wasn't able to see where the leak was coming from. So as we had some pressure in the system, I was able to get Dawn dishwashing liquid. It's very effective, actually, in finding the bubbles or finding where the actual leaks is coming from. So as you follow along, you'll see how I did it, and you can use this idea as well to pinpoint and see what's going on with your system and whether or not. But in this case, these units are actually pretty expensive as well. So it's so much easier just to have them repair instead of just replacing them. So, but yeah, both of them were pretty low in refrigerant. And the reason for the loss of refrigerant, now you see that corner, how you just have a lump of ice. Sometimes when you see that, you can think it's a restriction, but it's not always a restriction. It's just where the refrigerant is not fully circulating. So it ends up being you may say, the focus point of all the moisture which is being attracted to the evaporator. So we checked the system and it pulled pretty far down. It was basically almost in a vacuum, but it wasn't a vacuum. So the compressor was pulling down on itself. Now you can see we're at 25, around there. I was just basically checking the temperature so I have a reference. But normally once the refrigerant starts to flow, you can see the evaporator starting to frost up. So you don't really have to check the temperature there. That's just me checking. So as you can see, the refrigerant is going in slowly. Now, that orange thing, I was using that to turn the light off. So the system just turned off. So we're probably going to just let it chill for a little bit, and we'll get back to that one. And you can also check your temperature just by feeling for warmth. If there's no warmth on those condenser, the system is pretty much either off or it's not functioning properly. So you should definitely feel warmth. And also make sure your condensers are clean. You can also get them cleaned, vacuum them, blow them out. So as you can see, temperature is increasing on the condenser. And by the way, we weighed in the charge. and of course Sub-Zero. These units are pretty old, but still pretty good. So pretty much just going to just let you watch the video and enjoy the rest of the video. You will see what the reason for the leaks, and I'm going to be changing the Schrader. So the Schrader valves, see right here, I'm checking for leaks. Right now the system has enough refrigerant for us to check for leaks. And as you can see, pretty good bubbles. So the system was definitely leaking. Now, depending on who you call, what they would have done, just charge the system up, charge you, and leave. But that's not doing the job. You know, that's just doing it half-ass. Okay, get the job done right, find out why it's leaking. So what we're going to be doing now is removing the Schrader, which is that stem in the middle, like valve stem, like on your tire in your car. So we're going to remove that, and we're going to keep the system still charged as we remove the valve stem or Schrader valve and insert a new one. Then we're going to check for leaks, and after that we'll move on to the next refrigerator, and then we'll be checking temperature on the first unit, which is this one. So right now what we're doing is, this is a valve core extractor, Schrader valve extractor, and what it does, it allows you to be able to remove the damaged Schrader and remove the damaged core inside and extract the old one, turn the system back off, and reinstall a new one without removing the refrigerant from the system or even losing refrigerant. So that's the old one. We just took it out. Now we're going to put a new one. Make sure that you insert it pretty good. You get the idea. Now it's in. You might need two hands, by the way, to hold it well and secure. Now it's gonna be under pressure, so you're gonna have to push and turn as you insert the new. You can feel the pressure actually. So now the new valve is in. You can slowly turn and remove. Now I took everybody off, but if you want to be on the safe side, you could just remove the top piece and slowly turn the shiny cut off and see if it shoots out. Because if, for example, you didn't get it all the way in, you could still get it back in. But once you remove that, if the valve was not in or the stem was not in, you'd be in trouble. So this unit is running pretty good. And we're checking for leaks again. All the valves were changed, by the way. So this is the new unit. Temperature is 63, so we're going to jump on that. And here's the temperature on the original unit. Temperature was dropping. Not sure why it didn't show it, but we'll go back to that shortly. So now this unit, basically same issue, except I think this was worse because the other temperature was lower and this one's pretty high. I think this was 60 something. And you can actually see the refrigerant, how much less the unit had in it. As you look at the condenser, take a look. Sorry, the evaporator, guys. You can see that one has a lot less. So, probably has worse leak than the other one. So, but anyways, follow along for the rest of the video. I will show the actual temperature of the first unit, and you'll see it reach temperature. And I did not show the reach temperature on the second cooler or refrigerator. I figure you see one, you've seen two. So, but the system was fixed, repaired, charged. You can see it's low in refrigerant. And once it was charged up, everything was good. So, also guys, I do have some videos in Patreon. So, check me out over there for more in-depth videos, more technician-oriented type deal. But nonetheless, right? Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video.